I still remember the exact moment my world cracked in half. It was a Tuesday evening, rain tapping against the kitchen window, and I was humming while making dinner for Ethan, my fiancé of 4 years. The diamond on my finger caught the light every time I stirred the sauce. I felt so safe, so sure. We were supposed to get married in 8 months. I'd already picked the dress, the venue, the song for our first dance. Then my phone buzzed. A text from my older sister, Lauren. "Can we talk tonight? Important." I smiled. Lauren and I had always been close. 2 years apart, same hazel eyes, same laugh. People said we were more like twins. She'd been my maid of honor from the second Ethan proposed. She showed up an hour later, hair perfect, cheeks flushed like she'd been running. She hugged me too tight, then sat at the table and stared at her hands. "I have to tell you something," she whispered. "Please don't hate me." My stomach dropped. She took a shaky breath. "I'm in love with Ethan, and he's in love with me." The room went silent, except for the rain. I laughed, actually laughed, because it had to be a cruel joke. But her eyes filled with tears, real tears, and she kept going. "We didn't mean for it to happen. It just did. We've been seeing each other for 7 months. 7 months. While I was planning centerpieces and tasting cakes, my sister and my fiancé had been sneaking around behind my back. I asked the only question that mattered. Does he still want to marry me?" She looked down. "He's ending the engagement tomorrow. He's moving in with me next week." I felt the floor disappear beneath me. My own sister, the person who used to sleep in my bed when thunderstorms scared her, the person I called first with every piece of good news. She stole the future I'd built in my heart, piece by piece, kiss by piece. And the worst part? She cried harder than I did, like she was the victim. The weeks that followed were a fog of pain I can't even describe. I stopped eating. I stopped sleeping. I'd wake up reaching for Ethan's side of the bed and remember it was never really mine anymore. Friends tried to comfort me, but every conversation ended the same way. "Lauren always wanted what you had." I hated that sentence. It turned my sister into a cartoon villain instead of the girl who once split her Halloween candy with me because I had the flu. Then came the invitation. Cream-colored, gold foil, exactly the design I'd shown Lauren when we were picking mine. "Miss Lauren Elizabeth Corday and Mr. Ethan James Harlow joyfully invite you to my own stationery, my own date, moved up 6 months. My own fiancé." Inside was a handwritten note in Lauren's perfect cursive. "I know it's awkward, but you're still my sister. I want you there on the happiest day of my life. Please come. Love you forever." I sat on the bathroom floor and screamed until my throat bled. Part of me wanted to burn it. Part of me wanted to show up in black and ruin everything. But mostly, I wanted answers. How could she look me in the eye after what she did? How could she think I'd ever celebrate her victory? I didn't RSVP. I didn't call. I just planned. I started eating again. I got my hair done. I bought a dress, emerald green silk, that made my eyes look dangerous instead of devastated. I rehearsed what I would say until the words felt like armor. Because I realized something in those dark nights. Staying silent would only let them rewrite the story. They wanted me erased, invisible, the tragic ex who disappeared. I refused to disappear. The day of the wedding was perfect sunny, 74 degrees, garden blooming like it had been paid to perform. I walked into the venue with my head high, dress catching light like revenge itself. Lauren saw me from across the lawn and went pale beneath her bridal glow. Ethan actually dropped his champagne flute. I smiled, waved, and took my seat in the front row, right where the sister of the bride belongs. The ceremony was beautiful, I'll give them that. Vows about choosing each other every day, while I sat 5 feet away remembering every lie they told me. When the officiant said, "If anyone here has reason these two should not be married, speak now," I stayed perfectly still. Let them think I'd forgiven. Then came the reception. Lauren pulled me aside, eyes shining with nerves and triumph. "You came. Thank you. It means the world." I hugged her, long, tight, the way we used to when we were little. Whispered in her ear, "Enjoy tonight. It's the last time the three of us will ever be in the same room." During toasts, the best man talked about fate. I raised my glass with everyone else. But when the DJ invited the maid of honor to speak, because yes, I was still officially the maid of honor, I walked to the microphone. The room hushed. I pulled a small velvet box from my clutch, the engagement ring Ethan gave me 4 years ago. I'd had it melted down and remade into a delicate necklace with a single word engraved on the back: second. I held it up so the light caught the diamond. "I just want to say," I began, voice steady, "to my sister and my ex-fiance, thank you for showing me what I deserve. And thank you for giving me the greatest gift, knowing I was always worth more than being someone's backup plan." I slipped the necklace around my neck. "May your marriage be exactly what you both chose over honesty, loyalty, and family." Then I looked straight at Lauren. "I hope it fits perfectly." I set the microphone down and walked out while the entire room sat in stunned silence. I didn't cry until I reached my car, but they were different tears: relief, pride, freedom. Lauren texts sometimes, unread. Ethan tried once. "Can we talk?" Deleted. I don't hate them anymore. Hate takes too much energy. What I do carry is peace. I know my worth now. And I know that real love doesn't steal, it builds. It doesn't take invitations to someone else's joy after destroying yours. So to anyone listening who's been betrayed by the person they trusted most, your story isn't over when they rewrite theirs. Sometimes the kindest revenge is becoming someone they can never take credit for creating. I'm not the woman who walked away with her head high, wearing the ring they thought would break me, turned into proof that I'm unbreakable. And that, sisters, is the happiest ending I could have ever written for myself.